It was a scorching day in Ouagadougou. The streets buzzed with people, some rushing to work, others selling goods or looking for help. Inside the National Hospital, things were different. The halls were quiet but tense. Nurses moved quickly, and doctors passed by without saying a word. The air smelled strongly of medicine, and something else, sorrow. President Ibrahim Traoré wasn't there in any official capacity. He had come without his usual guards, dressed like any other visitor, accompanied by just one assistant. He wasn't looking for attention. He simply wanted to check on an old friend recovering from surgery and head home. As he walked down the hallway, something stopped him in his tracks, a heartbreaking sound. A woman's cry, loud and full of pain. He looked around. A young woman in a worn-out dress ran toward him, clutching a tiny baby wrapped in a faded pink cloth. Her eyes were swollen with tears. "Please, sir," she begged. "My baby is dying. Please don't let her die." Everyone nearby turned to watch. President Ibrahim stepped forward calmly. "Madam, please, what's happening to your child?" "My name is Salimata," she said, breathing heavily. "I'm a single mother. My husband died 2 weeks ago. My baby has been sick since yesterday. We came here early this morning, but they said I had to pay a deposit before they'd treat her. I don't have any money, sir, please help me." She knelt on the floor, clutching her baby. The child, just 6 months old, was barely moving. Her tiny chest rose and fell slowly, her lips were pale, and her eyes were shut. The assistant began to motion for the woman to stand, but the president raised his hand. "Let her speak." He knelt beside the woman, looking closely at the baby. "Where is the nurse? Where's the doctor on duty?" he asked. "They refused to even look at her," Salimata cried. "They said, no money, no treatment." Something inside President Ibrahim cracked. This was the very injustice he had spent his life fighting: poverty, inequality, cruelty masked as policy. Here was a mother watching her baby slip away simply because she couldn't pay it. He stood up, his voice steady but firm. "Call the hospital director. Tell him the president is here." Within minutes, the director arrived, panic written all over his face. "Your Excellency, we didn't know." "I didn't come here today as the president," Ibrahim interrupted calmly. "But I'm speaking now as the father of this nation. Why did your staff refuse to treat a dying child?" The director began to stammer, sweat forming on his brow. "It must be some kind of mistake, sir." "Let me check." "No need to check," Ibrahim said, his tone sharper now. "Take this child to the emergency room. Tip 3. Now. Emergency room. Now. And treat her like she's the president's own daughter." The words were barely out of President Ibrahim's mouth when nurses and doctors rushed in with a stretcher. They carefully lifted the baby from Salimata's arms and hurried her toward the emergency ward. Salimata collapsed to her knees, overcome with emotion. "Thank you, sir. May God bless you. May God bless you," she cried. President Ibrahim gently placed a hand on her shoulder. "No child in Burkina Faso will ever be denied treatment because of money. I give you my word." Her tears of despair began to shift into tears of hope. Inside the emergency room, the pace was urgent. The baby was placed gently on a small hospital bed. A young doctor named Jules stepped in and quickly checked her vitals. "Her heartbeat is very faint. We need oxygen and a full blood test, right now." One nurse fitted an oxygen mask. Another drew blood. A third cleaned the baby's fragile body and checked her for signs of infection. Salimata stood at the doorway, trembling. Her legs were weak, but her heart wouldn't give up. She just wanted her baby to live. Outside, President Ibrahim watched through the glass. His hands were clenched tightly. He was furious. How could any hospital turn away a dying child simply because of money? The hospital director, still visibly shaken, stood beside him. "Your Excellency, we're deeply sorry. It's the..." Clip 4. President Ibrahim stood firm, his eyes still locked on the tiny baby fighting for her life. How much was she supposed to pay? He asked, his voice calm but heavy. 35,000 CFA, sir, the hospital director replied quietly. 35,000, Ibrahim repeated, slowly. "And that small amount nearly cost a child her life." The director hesitated. "Sir, it may not seem like much, but for many, it is. Still, the policy is clear: no treatment without a deposit, especially in emergencies." President Ibrahim turned and faced him fully now, his tone sharper. "No. Injustice is injustice, no matter the policy. From this moment on, no hospital in Burkina Faso is to ever refuse emergency care when a life is at risk. Save the life first, money can wait." "Yes, sir," the director replied, nodding quickly. Just then, Salimata stepped forward again, tears clinging to her eyes. "Sir, thank you. They're treating her now, but will she live?" Before Ibrahim could answer, the doctor stepped out of the emergency room, fatigue written across his face. "She's stable for now," he said. "But we're not sure yet. She was extremely weak when she arrived." The next 24 hours will be critical. Salimata clutched her chest, barely able to stand. President Ibrahim moved beside her again, steady and reassuring. She's in good hands now, he said gently. And from today forward, no other mother will face what you just did. That's a promise. The hospital had always been a place for healing. But that day, it also became the place where a nation's leader made it clear, in Burkina Faso, every life matters.